Hi, everybody. Welcome to Family and Finance. My name is Rose Joshua. I'm an insurance agent, but in this channel, we talk about life. Talk about family, your health, your wealth. And today I have my personal coach. I'm blessed to have a personal coach, my daughter-in-law, Molly Joshua. I invited Molly today just to help me and everybody, my friends, with our journey. So Molly, thank you so much for being here again.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks for just letting me bring you on board from time to time. I like that picture behind you. That's you and Manny.
Yeah, I guess those are our engagement photos.
Yes, I see that. I recognize.
Were years ago. Yeah, thank you.
And happy birthday to my grandson, Kobe Andrew.
Thank you.
Today is his first birthday. So this is a
Yeah.
significant, this is us celebrating his birthday and looking at how we can live long. How's that?
Right? Oh yeah, totally.
Yes, yes, yes. So, thank you once again for being here. So, I embarked on this journey. I did, about my going to see my doctor, and he said you have to lose all these pounds. But and I brought, I connected with some of my friends, and we're trying to lose weight, and it's tough. It's not easy to lose weight.
Yeah.
And so I started on November 28th, let's say December 1st. And 2 months down, and to be honest, I have to be very, very honest, I haven't really lost any weight. I did lose a bit of weight in November, like December when I started, and then Christmas came.
The holidays they're always challenging. Yeah.
Christmas came and that flew out the window, and then New Year's resolution. It's a struggle, I have to tell you. So then I guess, I'm here. Let me listen to you. What exactly do I need to do? I know for sure. Okay, let me kind of set the pace for this conversation. I know for sure I don't want to lose weight quickly
Mhm.
in such a way that I cannot sustain the way I lost it. I remember years back, I used to watch Oprah, like she would lose weight, then she would gain it all back, and then she would lose again, gain it all back. And I know everybody, this is common knowledge, so I'm not snitching on my favorite star, Oprah. But I saw that losing weight is one thing, keeping it off is another thing. So I know that I require a lifestyle change,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
then talk to me. What do we need to do?
I love it. No,
My
you're so
head
right,
is-
Mama Rose. And that cycle of, losing weight typically very quickly and gaining it all back, it's a relentless cycle. And I I have a background as a dietitian, and in my work, people would come to me and they would be in very similar spots. And typically, what it is when that happens, people tend to become very fixated on like a diet, typically a fad diet, something very short term that's not sustainable.
Mhm.
You're so spot on when you were talking about lifestyle habits, right? Lifestyle changes. And we call them lifestyle changes or lifestyle habits because you want them to last your whole lifespan. And
Yes.
so I think it begins with well, it really begins with why you want to lose weight, right? Is it like start with why? It's like I want to lose weight. If it's something that's like very surface level, that's okay. Um, More than likely that will get you going, but it won't keep you going. If it's something
Mhm.
surface level, like, oh, I just want to lose weight to like look better, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not gonna like sustain the motivation. Because like you said, like losing weight is hard. Like it
It's-
takes discipline, it takes focus, it takes hard work, just like with anything, like building your finance practice. It's also not a linear journey, or I guess linear like that's going down. It's one of those journeys that has its ups and downs, but when you look at the overall trend, you want to see it going that way. So I think starting with why, like why do you want to lose the weight? Is it, going from just to look better to something more internal? I would
Mhm.
always coach my clients like, hey, you gotta find something like internal. Like
Mhm.
something that moves you. Maybe it's, being in shape, or having enough fitness to, run around with the grandkids, or travel with the grandkids, or maybe it's um, the motivation. I know some of my clients with like a faith background, like they want to be the best vessel possible to be the
Mhm.
hands of God, right? To do the work that God's called them to do, and to do it optimally, they need to have optimal health. So,
Mhm.
things like, typically things like that are more internal, I think are huge. And then also just like, after addressing like why, it's addressing more of like a mindset. Weight loss isn't a technique. There's not a special diet. There's always going to be a fad diet. There's always going to be some macro or micronutrient under the spotlight that is being demonized.
Mhm.
I was born in the 90s, and like I've seen fat being demonized, and recently carbohydrates, and then eggs, and this, and just like there's always some fad going on. And like it's you're going to see that constantly, and that's just
Yeah.
people trying to sell stuff is what that is. But you got to go back to the roots of like what actually, like what is true, and then like what actually is proven to work. And those daily habits, I mean, a couple daily habits that are really effective for people.
Okay.
And I share this not just from the perspective, and feel free to interrupt me, ask a question if there's something I say, but I can.
So I wanted to say something about the demonization of stuff, okay?
Mm, mhm.
Because in the past 2 months, and I have to be very, very specific because it's since I got it in my head, I gotta lose this 46 pounds, kg. It's scary. But anyway, so I've been kind of trying to be more aware. And then I noticed I'm doing a lot of research. Like I'm spending a lot of time studying. uh, I like to say study because it's not just reading. I'm reading to get information. And some say drink so much water. Some say don't drink so much water. Some say you can have salt. Some say you cannot have salt. Some say you can have fat. Some say you cannot have fat. Some say you can have carbs. So the diet industry has not made up its mind what we should be eating. Okay. Like they need to make up their mind, what should we eat? And it's all over the map. So then I know that in this journey, everyone, I need to find what is good for me, for my body.
Mhm.
And every one of my listeners need to find what is good for their body because it's not a one size fit all thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Where your
totally.
comes in.
What's that?
That's where your mindset comes in, you said.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you got to find what fits for you, because what works for one person might not work for the next person. Like for example, say, I have two clients, and one really struggles with maybe overeating. And then the other client struggles more with um consuming sweets,
Mhm,
right? They don't eat a lot, but when they do eat, they eat very high sugary, high calorie foods.
mhm,
Those two individuals will have completely different approaches, right?
mhm,
Because what's the root issue, right? This one is overeating. I don't know what the root issue. There's lots of root issues there. Like maybe
mhm.
they're not in tune with the feeling of full. Maybe, I don't know, they grew up where food was scarce, and they were taught eat everything as much as you can. And they've carried that into adulthood, and they have like this scarcity mindset around, I need to eat all the food, you know? So
Mhm.
there's different mindset things to approach. The person that is not eating enough food, but when they do eat, they eat sugar, they probably have a mindset of, oh, I'm not eating anything. Like I'm still gaining weight, And it's like, okay, well, the food you are eating is very high in calories. And typically they are craving sugar because they're not eating enough fats and proteins and good carbohydrates. You know what I mean? So there's two
Yeah,
different approaches. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what is the root issue? But I
yeah.
think if I were to take, so, approaches differ. I'd say a common thread between all people, though, is the mindset of like incremental progress, right? So, say someone has a goal of losing, 46 pounds, like yourself, for
KG.
50, like that.
Eight.
It's
It's
yeah,
like 90 pounds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I would recommend, and this is a good practice with anything. It's like, okay, like realistically, how long did it take me to put that weight on?
Ah.
Maybe it took a year. Maybe it took two, maybe it was over the span of 5 years, like think about that. You're not going to lose it. In fact, you don't want to lose it in a month. You don't want to lose it in three. You probably don't even want to lose it in 6 months. If it took you 5 years to put on, you're going to want like slow incremental progress. Like, let's just call it 50 pounds. 50 divided by 12 is, what is 50? Let me see. Is
Four.
four, a little over 4 pounds.
Yeah.
4 pounds a month. Like, think about that. 4 pounds a month. How does 4 pounds feel to you just in your mind versus 50?
50 is scary. Four
Yeah.
is easy to manage. It's a
Yeah.
smaller piece. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like breaking it down into small goals, small realistic goals, you got to um set goals to set the path. And then like there's checkpoints, right? It's like, okay, in 3 months, I'm not down 10 to 12 pounds. Like, great, I'm on track. Sometimes people get discouraged because they haven't lost all the weight that took them, 5 to 10 years to put on. So that's like one is small incremental goals. And then two is just like the mindset of like making one tweak at a time. Like if someone, and I'll give you 4 tweaks, like 4 tips that anyone could take and apply because I want people to get value out of this. So,
Mhm.
excuse me. And I can even share from my personal perspective, like I've helped people lose weight. And for the most part of my life, like I've always been fairly fit. And then, had my son a year, literally exactly a year ago. Today's his first
Yeah.
birthday.
Mhm.
And, through pregnancy, I just gained a lot of weight.
Mhm.
My body just did what it needed to do. I ate well, I exercised. My body just gained a lot of weight. And so postpartum a year ago, by the time I gave birth, I had probably about 40, 45 pounds to lose. 40,
Mhm.
say, yeah, about 40 pounds above my like ideal weight.
Mhm.
And so, I myself have been on a weight loss journey this past year as well.
Mhm.
I took about the first 6 months and just really focused on, nursing my son and just recovering my body. And
Mhm.
then whenever he was 6 months, I was like, okay, I'm going to be intentional here. And a few of the habits that I adopted was number one, drinking enough water. Like
Mhm.
water is totally I think people like they totally sleep on water. Like drinking enough water is so important. It's important for your skin, for your organs. It helps flush out all the bad stuff. Like it's so important. Um,
Mhm.
recommendation. I mean, you'll hear eight glasses of 8 ounce a glass, fluid ounces of water a day.
Mhm.
Um, some people say drink a gallon of water a day, half a gallon. All the things.
Yes.
Rule of thumb, take your body weight, cut it in half. So let's just say you're 200 pounds. For an example, someone's 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water, right? Take your body weight, cut it in half, and drink that many ounces. That's a good goal. So, water, so increasing water intake. Two would be increasing protein intake. Protein
Okay.
is another nutrient that I think is very underutilized. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say I'm not going to give a recommendation just because there's different, like if someone has some type of health challenge
Mhm.
that limits their amount of protein, I don't want someone to take a recommendation and then run with it. But I'll share with you what I eat in terms of protein. My goal protein intake is 1 gram per pound of body weight. So,
Mhm.
say an individual weighs 200 pounds, their goal protein intake is 200 grams, right? So, that's just kind of a easy 1 to 1. And
Is
you
that
can
is
tweak
that
it
daily?
a day. Yes, correct.
That's a lot of protein.
It is. Yes, it is a lot of protein. hmm
So if you had one chicken breast, how many grams is that?
Depends how big the chicken breast is. Probably between, I mean, it depends. You could have a 4 ounce chicken breast to like a 7 or 8. It's between 30, usually around 30, 35 for an
Yeah.
average chicken breast. Typically, here's a tip. Most people cannot hit that daily protein goal without a supplement.
I cannot. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. Like, I am at this is public knowledge. I'm at what is my weight again? No, 208. Yes, I'm at two. No, that's not correct. I'm confused. I'm at 108 kg. Okay, that's what it is. I'm at 108 kg. So what is that in pounds?
Uh, you multiply it by 2.2.
Multiply by 2.2. 108 times 2.2. So I'm at 238. Yeah, I knew there was an 8 there. So I'm at 238. If I divide that by, if I do 1 gram per pound, that's a, a lot of gram. That's a lot of meat.
Yeah. So Monrose, say for example, say you're eating, I don't know, say you're only eating 50 grams right now.
Yes.
Your goal next week would be 70, right? And then your goal, once you hit that, your next goal is gonna be bump it up a little bit. Maybe
Yes.
it's 90.
100.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Incrementally get there. Because if you go from say 50 grams to 200,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some belly issues. So you know what I mean? Like incrementally bumping it up. But yeah, highly recommend. And then protein supplements. I mean, like,
Yes. So then I need you to help me with, I needed to recommend for me like offline,
yeah.
because now I see that I'm not getting enough protein because I can't eat that much meat and I like beans, but not that much.
Yeah. And that would be a lot of beans, but
That's a
I'm
lot.
very similar. I'm not a huge, I eat meat, but I can't sit down and just eat a plate full of chicken like my husband can. Like,
Yeah,
I
oh
can't
yeah,
do that.
many can. Yeah, we
Yeah,
love.
Manny can do that and will happily do it. He'll eat a whole chicken if you put a
Yes,
chicken.
yes.
um, yeah, no, I have some brands that are my favorite. We can talk about it offline, but some really high quality brands that I really love that
Okay.
are safe. But hydration, protein, and then also just a little bit of movement. It doesn't have to be going to the gym, but just like going for a walk, maybe in the mornings,
Thanks.
maybe in the afternoons, get up, moving your body a little bit. And here's the other tip. Some people say 10,000 steps a day, which is great. If you can do 10,000 steps a day, that's amazing. But say someone is starting out, I know, Mama Rose, you've told me before, you're you
I'm
prefer
lazy.
you're not lazy. You just prefer to be sedentary.
Yes, I like to sit.
Yeah.
I'm a couch potato, but not like my mind is not a couch potato. I'm working all the time, but it's just
Yeah.
because I'm working on my computer. I can stay with my computer all day and I'm happy. But yeah, I
Yeah.
need to get up and move, right?
It's actually a gift, Melrose. Most people cannot sit and be at their computer and be so happy all day.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for you, I don't know. I, I actually don't track my steps.
Mhm.
A lot of people do. I just feel like I have enough stuff going on in my life. I don't need to track that. But I am just intentional.
You have Kobe giving you 10,000 steps.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I just am intentional. I try to go on a walk a day. For me, I like to, like, lift weights. I like to exercise. It brings me joy. So
Mhm.
I do that 3 to 4 times a week for about 15 to 20 minutes. Like, it doesn't have to be, knock your socks off, like run a marathon type exercise, but just move your body, like Mama Rose. So for you, an example, someone who's like, prefers to be sedentary, isn't used to like, a lot of movement. And you have to think like you do steps every time you get up to use the potty, every time you
Yes.
go to the grocery store, you walk to your
Yeah.
car, that's all steps, that's all included.
That's all steps.
Something as simple as like going on like a 10-minute walk, like once, maybe twice a day, like that
Yeah.
would make such a huge difference, like in your metabolism. It would make such like your body would respond to that probably really well.
Yeah.
It'd probably really like that.
Okay. I'm
But
going to do that. And listeners, my listeners, I hope you're listening to everything. So
yeah,
we need to eat more protein. We need to drink more water.
yeah, water.
Water, 8 ounces or whatever. Divide your body weight by 2 and that much water
Yeah.
in terms of ounces. Okay. And then I'm making notes at 1 gram. per pound of body weight, but we can't eat all of that
Yeah.
in groceries. So we need,
That's the goal. Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
goal. Yeah, so we need protein supplements, and Molly, you're gonna help us with that, please.
Yeah.
Everyone who needs protein supplements, let me know. We'll connect you with Molly. And then moving. I like the
Yeah.
lifting weights, 10-minute walk twice a day. I like that. I think I can do that. And definitely I do have chances to walk around during my day. So yeah, I can definitely do that. So when I say I love to sit with my computer all day, of course I don't do that, but most of the time I'm happy just
Yeah.
sitting down with my computer. But yeah, 10-minute walk twice a day is not going to break the bank. And I do have a treadmill. If I can turn my video around, you can see I have a treadmill in my living room here, which I look at every day. But I just look at it, I say, hi, treadmill, and it's just sitting there.
That's funny.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Um,
Yeah.
and Mama Rose, my last tip, this one's easy, is practicing gratitude or mindfulness, whatever someone wants to call it. But I think so many, and it happens where, people are like, oh, I don't like my body, or I don't like this about my body, or I'm frustrated with this. And it's like coming from a place of like disgust or lack or just like disappointment. I found that if people can develop like gratitude for their body, like, like for thank you body for, in your case, birthing and raising 5 children,
Yeah.
like that's a feat, and thank you legs for carrying me everywhere I want to go. Just like
Yeah.
some type of gratitude rather than cursing their body, their blessing, everything that comes out of our mouth, the words we speak, you walk into the words you speak. The
Wow.
words we speak matter so much. And so I found that to be a big one as well. And overall, those are 4 tips. Start with one. Pick one.
That last one, Molly, you know what? I, I have never heard it that way. Like,
Really.
never seen it, no, just listening to you now, this whole thing about blessing your body
Hmm.
is like, psh, like, is a
Yeah.
mental explosion for me. And honestly, God bless you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. Because when we bless our body,
Mhm.
the body listens and the body is happy. And the
Mhm.
body actually begins to listen to our instructions, saying, okay, she loves me, so I better listen to her now. Because the body is kind of weird. Because the body, we think that it doesn't have a spirit, but it does have, we are a spirit, right?
Yep.
Walking around in a body. So the
Totally.
body listens to us and listens to our instructions, and things begin to get better. I like that. Hmm.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know, we both, come from faith backgrounds. So if I could share this, like if you can't find something that you like about yourself, I tell this to my clients, at least thank God for making you.
Yes.
Oh, God created you, and in your eyes, like in his eyes, like you're perfect.
Yes.
You are his child. When I look at Kobe, I'm like, oh, he's just so cute. He's perfect, he's just adorable.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Mm.
man, that's how God feels about us. And like, how dare I like curse something God made?
Yeah.
That's how I think about it. I'm like, man, you bless what God made. That's amazing. Anyways, that's my perspective from that. So
Wow.
take
Thank
one
you.
tip, listeners, Mama Rose, take whichever tip you want, apply it, and that'd be my tip. And
I am taking all the tips. I am Oliver Twist. I want all of it. This is great. Like it's honestly, Mali, I knew that I said 15 minutes. This was more than 15 minutes. Thank you
Oh
for,
wow, I didn't even notice. Yeah.
yes, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for this is gold. This is gold. And I think I can work with this. I think I should stop whining about my scale. Now I hate my scale. I mean, November I was going to my scale. I said, okay, I've lost a few, 0 point something, and then it's to go up, it's to go down, to go up, it's to go up again. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not talking to that scale again.
sometimes you gotta throw it out.
Yes.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes that's okay. For a
Yeah.
period of time, throw it out.
Yeah. I think I shouldn't look at my scale every day. That's a problem. I think I should probably look at it once a week. Schedule a time, maybe once a week on Sundays when I can climb on my scale and see what happened between last week and this week and then track it in a spreadsheet.
Yeah, good idea. Just
Yeah.
a tip with that, Monrose, make sure you do it at the same time every day.
Same time every time. Okay. I get it.
Yeah, so if you do it first thing in the morning
Hmm.
before, you
Before
eat
food.
or excuse
Yeah.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your weight can fluctuate like 3 to 5 pounds in a day, depending on the time of day.
Yes.
If you just had a meal, like all that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I was watching a friend of mine who had lunch and then he went to weigh himself. I'm like, what are you? You just ate a mountain of food. Like, why are you weighing yourself? So anyway, so yeah, definitely I like to weigh myself first thing in the morning after before breakfast.
Yeah,
So that way I know I have not eaten for the day, preferably after voiding. I go back,
yeah,
I go to the bathroom, and then I make sure that I'm totally empty and I weigh myself. And then when I go
perfect.
to the doctor's office and I know they're gonna measure me, I wear very light clothing.
That's better. Yeah.
I wear a t-shirt and a skinny tights. So that way when I go, I just go with the light clothing, no additional heavyweight clothes. And I don't drink water
Oh my gosh.
because water has weight. Everything has weight. You drink water and your weight goes up by 0.2 kg.
Uh,
Anyway, my experience with my weight is a totally different story. But yeah, thank you so much, Molly. I'm very
yeah,
grateful. Thank you.
absolutely. Yes. Thank you for having me. I hope this added some value
This
to
was awesome.
everybody. Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
awesome. Thank you. Have
You're
yourself a
welcome.
beautiful day. Happy birthday to Kobe.
I'll let them know.
See
Yeah.
him this morning. Enjoying his day. Happy
All right.
birthday.
Bye, Mama Rose.
Yes, love
Thank you.
you.
Love
Yeah.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.